I'm Emily. I'm just going to teach you a lesson about fractions as well as the disadvantages of fractions. So I think it's important to start off with just explaining briefly what fraction is. So fraction is part of a whole number, and it's really easy to think of money as an example. Like $1 is one whole, but 4 quarters make up that whole. And it's also really easy to think of fractions as division, which I'll describe a little bit later on throughout the lesson. And just some of the basics to start with, like I said, a fraction is a whole, but so it's made up of 2 pieces, and those include the numerator and the denominator. Now, the numerator is the top portion of the fraction, and that's what you are given or what you have, what you're working with. Whereas the denominator is the bottom portion of the fraction, and it represents the whole. So a really nice way to think about it is you have a pizza and it's split up into 8 slices. And so 8 slices is your constant. You always have 8. And so if the numerator is 8, so you're given or have 8 slices, and then there are a constant 8, that is one whole, right? Whereas if you just eat 1 slice, right? So you are given 1 slice to eat, but there were 8 slices total, that's 1/8. So that's the fraction. Now when adding and subtracting fractions, it's easiest when when the denominator is the same. That's also called a common denominator. So another visual example, back to the pizza slices. So you have 8 slices and you want to eat 3. So you grab 3 to put on your plate, right? So you have 3 slices, originally 8 over 8, so 3 over 8, but then you decide you're really hungry, so you go back and you grab 4 more slices. So now you were given 4 more slices over 8 slices total. So then when you're adding that, what you do is, because the 8 is a constant, that stays the same, it's a common denominator. So then you're adding the 3 slices that you had plus the 4 slices that you were given over 8, which equals 7/8. So that means you have 7/8 of the pizza on your plate now. Now it works the same with subtraction, as long as you have a common denominator. So say you have those 7 slices and you realize, man, I actually wasn't that hungry. So you have the 7/8 minus, let's say you want to put 2 back. So 2 over 8. And it's the same thing with the addition, where you're going to do 7 minus 2 over 8, because 8, again, is that total slice count that you have. So then 7 minus 2 is 5. And then because the denominator is the same, it's going to be 8. So now you have 5/8 of the pizza slice, or of the whole pizza. Now, it gets a little trickier when you have different denominators, and what we use is called the Bowie method, and there's going to be some multiplication involved in that. So let's say we have a fraction of 2/7 plus 3/5. Now what you're going to do, here comes the multiplication, is you're going to multiply the first denominator with the second numerator, sorry. So you're gonna go upwards, and then you're gonna multiply the second denominator with the first numerator. So you're basically making an X when you go up. So 5 times 2 is 10, and 7 times 3 is 21. So your new numerator now is 10 plus 21. And now for the denominator, you're going to multiply both denominators together to get your new denominator. So it's going to be 7 times 5, which gives you 35. Now you just add the new numerator. So 10 plus 21 is 31, and your denominator is 35. So the new fraction and the answer is 31 over 35, or 31/35.